Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, AirspeedPrime here with my next channel update. This is going to be my January 2018 channel update. And yeah, a couple of things to talk about. The most obvious one, most recent thing to talk about is where is my Turf Wars Part 2 review content and just that sort of stuff. The main reason you haven't seen it yet, we're 2 days past the initial release, is because I was not able to get the book. I contacted Dark Horse for a review copy like I tend to usually get, and I just got no response. No response either way about that, so that was just not a factor in all this, which meant that it put all the pressure on me trying to get the book when it actually came out. And as has sort of happened before with some of these Avatar comics, my comic book store just didn't get it in. I don't know what the specific reason was or anything like that, but they did not list it as a book that was coming out on the 17th this week. Because they always tend to every week put out a list of comics that are coming out the following Wednesday, and it just wasn't there. And as I said, it's happened before, so it wasn't a complete surprise to me, but it just meant that, oh wait, there's no way for me to actually get the book now, because the other comic book store I could get to that's much further away, they also have recently started putting up the list of books that are coming out, and it also wasn't there. So I don't know if this is a UK problem or a specific Ireland problem, distributor type stuff, but it meant that I just wasn't able to get the book. So that's why there's you haven't seen any review content from me, because I haven't read the book yet. I don't know what it's fully about, so I can't talk about it. So what it means is that I'll get to doing the review stuff when I get the book. When I can read the book, I'll get the review stuff out as soon as possible. You know, the usual review content I tend to do. A video review, a written review up on the site, and then podcast review. All of that stuff right now is kind of on hold, delayed until myself and for the podcast, the other hosts can actually get a hold of the book. So it's obviously not ideal, and it's, for me, like running a channel which is primarily Avatar, the new releases, especially for the comics at this point, are like the big thing. So it's really unfortunate. Like, I did everything I could, but it's just really disappointing that I can cover everything about the release except the release, because the actual book is the only thing that doesn't come out digitally like the same day. And that's something I really hope Dark Horse decide to change in the future, that they decide to basically move the digital release date for the Avatar and Korra comics up from where it currently is, which is basically when the book is going to be released on the 30th for Amazon, online, digital. They moved the digital release to coincide with the comic book store release date, because almost every other like comic, single issue comic stuff is released same day as the comic book store thing. So I don't know why Dark Horse decide to do it this other way, and I hope they decide to change it going forward. I think part of the problem is also that they're very different books in that the size, in that it's not a single issue, it's not a trade paperback either. It's a graphic novel, but it's a differently sized graphic novel than other ones. So I think all those factors lead to it kind of being treated a little separately to some degree by certain comic places, and maybe that's part of why I wasn't able to get it. But I hope they fix that going forward. But yeah, I'll get to that stuff when I get to it. But honestly, it could take until I'm actually able to get the book when it's released online. I have a pre-order in on Amazon, so hopefully that will ship out a little bit earlier than the release date, so I can get it on the secondary release date. But I don't know when I will be getting the book, so just be aware of that. That's the case. But yeah, moving from there into the actual channel update stuff. The big thing, you've probably seen it in the title, is that I'm finally going to be starting up my Korra rewatch. So this is going to be Airspeed's Korra rewatch to be the follow-up series to my Airspeed's Avatar rewatch I did towards the end of last year. So I said when I announced that I'd be doing Avatar and Korra, and then towards the end of the Avatar rewatch, I believe I said that I'd be taking a little break after the Avatar rewatch, and then I'd be getting back to the Korra one shortly after that. And I think this is the right time to do it. I think it's been 2 months since the end of the Avatar rewatch. I think it's a good time to jump back in. It gives a series to add to my channel when there's not as much other stuff happening, and just it'll be consistent content. The plan with that would be that I'm probably going to start it Sunday or Monday. It depends on when I have time to do it. review the first episode, and then from then on, the idea would be that I try to get at least 2 episode reviews as part of the rewatch out every week. And it'll work similarly to the Avatar rewatch, where when there's weeks when there's not a lot happening and so on, I'll do more. When there's weeks where maybe I'm busy, I may only be able to get out the 2 or even only 1. But the idea would be that I'd be aiming for 2 a week at least. And it'd be the same format as the other one, where it'd just be an in-depth review of each episode. Probably somewhere between 15 to 25 minutes per episode, depending on the content of the episode. Korra tends to be a little bit more, I suppose, packed each episode, so I don't think there'll be as many shorter reviews as there was maybe towards the beginning of Avatar. But we'll see how it goes. Still, I'm excited to do it. I obviously have on the podcast we finished the podcast rewatch, but that was over such a long length of time. It'll be interesting to just go through it a lot more kind of clearly here. So yeah, that's definitely the bigger thing starting up soon. So definitely in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on the Korra rewatch starting soon. As for other stuff, it'll be the usual content. I'll do the Avatar news whenever it comes out. Discussion topics. The aim would obviously be like once a week, depending on if I have a topic that I really want. And just in general, covering Avatar stuff. It's going to be the main focus of my channel, obviously. As for other stuff, for the most part, it's going to be the usual stuff that I tend to do. When Rebels comes back, I'll be reviewing Star Wars Rebels. Whenever Steven Universe episodes come on, I'll review them. Then I suppose there's the other stuff like Sword Art Online content. I of course, when the books come out, I'll be reviewing those as they are released. The new volumes of Alicization as they come out. The kind of alternative Gun Gale Online, whenever the English releases come out. And then I suppose for 2018 we'll be also looking towards the release of the new animes, both the alternative Gun Gale Online anime and also season 3 of Sword Art Online as well. Both of those, I think at least alternative GGO is expected this year, but SAO season 3 could be like late this year going into 2019. But just know I plan to review both of those, all the episodes of those on my channel, because obviously it'll be my first time since I've kind of properly gotten into the Sword Art Online fandom that I'll be actually covering episodes as they officially air. So that's a cool thing. I'll be continuing to do my usual Boruto, Naruto content of course covering the Boruto manga as it's released, as well as the anime. And if they decide to start releasing the books again, I will be reviewing them as well. And then just that's kind of that stuff. Other Star Wars stuff, I think this is probably where I'll be maybe adding a few extra Star Wars videos as well. Of course, the Han Solo movie, Solo, a Star Wars story or tale, that's coming out in May, so I'll be reviewing that. I might, when the first trailer drops, I'll probably do some sort of a video on it to see what it's like, because it's a new actor playing a younger version of a character we know quite well, so that's going to be very interesting. So expect some content on Solo. But the main thing would be that I will be talking a little bit more about the books on my channel. The initial first video I plan to do would be a kind of long a video on the longer side. Like, it'll probably be over 30 minutes long, of me discussing my top 5 Star Wars books from all across the expanded universe, even the Legends stuff and so on. So that'll be a fun one. I'm making sure to kind of reread or re-listen to, in terms of audiobooks, all of the ones that I'm considering for that. So that video is coming, but don't expect it like really soon, because obviously I have like 4 or 5 books to read basically before I really get down to doing that one. And then after that, I probably will be doing a little bit more like I'll just randomly review a Star Wars book here and there, and then depending on the newer stuff that's released, I may put that sort of content out as well. But that's just a focus. I want to maybe get into doing a little bit more regular Star Wars content. A lot of that also depends on announcements that they make, of like when Rebels comes to an end, like is there an animated show coming next? When is the live action show going to come out? And all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think that's most of what I want to cover. in summary, I suppose, a lot of, like, you'll just see, like, I'm not dropping anything that I'm currently doing. Addition of, like, of course, there'll be more Sword Art Online stuff this year with the animes coming back. There will be a little bit more Star Wars stuff with the Solo movie this year coming, and I'll be doing a little bit more of that. But the main thing, as I said here, is the Airspeed's Korra rewatch is going to be starting in the next couple of days. So definitely check that out. Follow along with me as we go through The Legend of Korra. Because the fun thing about that is that I of course have reviews of each Korra episode up on my channel. But they're from when the episodes were, like, initially airing. So on my channel, I don't really have, like, individual episode discussions of, like, every episode within the context of the entire series. So it'll be fun to kind of do a more kind of focused rewatch and really discuss which episodes are, like, really, really important to the series and so on. And then I suppose some episodes I maybe haven't talked about in a very long time on my channel, so there'll be that to talk about also. So yeah, and then of course Turf Wars, I'll get to it when I get to it. It's not that I'm not excited to review the book or anything like that, so I haven't put much effort into trying getting a hold of the book. I really, really want to read the book. The little bits I've been hearing make me like, oh, I really want to see what it's like, because everyone's saying it's more plot focused, it's not as much of a focus on Korrasami. I want to see what the plot is. That's what I've been excited for in Turf Wars, so I want to see what that is about. It's just, I literally have not been able to get a hold of the book. So that's the update. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on stuff you'd like to see on my channel. Thoughts on what I've said already is coming to my channel. But yeah, that has been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.